Hello everyone, welcome back again into our special subject specialized auditing. In the previous lecture we have talked about meaning of audit under GST. Also we have discussed the various aspects related to an audit under GST, such as applicability of GST audit, meaning of aggregate turnover. In that, we have seen items which are included and excluded while calculating aggregate turnover. After that, we have also discussed calculation of aggregate turnover with its example, and we have started with the compliance or key points for GST audit. In that, we have seen qualification, appointment of GST auditor and accounts to be reviewed by GST auditor. Now, we are going to learn with the fourth compliance of GST audit, that is forms for annual return and GST audit. Now, let's see these various forms. You can see this table here. Type of taxpayer and form to be filed is given. So, first type of taxpayer is whether or not applicable to GST audit. In that, a regular taxpayer filing GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B. Form to be filed GSTR 9. Next, a taxpayer under composition scheme, form to be filed GSTR 9A. After that, e-commerce operator, form to be filed GSTR 9B. Then, second type of taxpayer is applicable for GST audit. In that, taxpayers whose turnover exceeds rupees 2 crores, form to be filed GSTR 9C. Further, we will discuss about all these forms in next lecture in detail. Now, let's see next compliance is review of comments by GST auditor. See, the auditor must report any tax liability pending for payment by the taxpayer identified through the reconciliation exercise and observations made on GST audit. Then next point is submission of GST audit report and annual return. See, the finalized GSTR 9C can be certified by the same CA who conducted the GST audit, or it can also be certified by any other CA who did not conduct the GST audit for that particular GST in. So the following must be reported and certified by the GST auditor or the certifier. First is whether or not all the requisite accounts or records are maintained. Second is whether or not the financial statement are prepared as per the books of accounts maintained at the principal place of business or additional place of business of the taxpayer. Third one is certify the accuracy of information in GSTR 9C. And last is to list down the audit observations or reservations or comments if any. Now let's see next compliance, that is documents are required to be submitted under GST audit. So first is annual return under section 44 subsection 1 in form GSTR 9. Second is audited annual accounts or financial statements, which is PAN based. Third one is reconciliation statement to be furnished in the GSTR 9C. That means certified reconciliation statement in form GSTR 9C reflecting reconciled values of supplies and tax amounts declared in GSTR 9 compared to audited financials in Part A along with the audit report in Part B. And fourth document is such other particulars as may be prescribed. So the most challenging part of important audit checkpoints is reconciliation of records in the books to avoid GST evasion. Now let's try to understand the need of reconciliation statement. So it arises as the annual return is prepared based on transactions reported during the year in various return wherein supply of all nature required to be reported, whereas the books of accounts maintained based on separate principle. That is why there may be many transactions which may take place in annual return but not in the books of accounts, like treatment of trade discount, credit notes, unadjusted advances, etc. Hence, the reason to bring reconciliation statement is to find out the differences and reasons for such differences. Now we are going to see the due dates for submission of GST audit report. See, the due date of furnishing GST audit report is 31st December of the subsequent fiscal year. It means Form GSTR 9 and GSTR 9C are due on or before 31st December. Now let's see the penalty of non-compliance under GST audit. Students, there is no specific penalty given for non-compliance of provisions of GST audit. However, general penalty may be imposed in case of non-compliance of rupees 25,000 given under section 125 of CGST and SGST Act. We are turning to the another main point under GST audit, that is types of GST audit. There are given three types of GST audit. First is turnover based audit, second is general audit, and third is special audit. Let's see deep meaning of all these types. So first, section 35 subsection 5 of CGST Act covers turnover based audit. In that, registered person whose turnover exceeds rupees 2 crores, the taxpayer is required to get his accounts audited. Then chartered accountant or cost accountant conduct this audit. The time limit to complete the audit is 31st December of the subsequent fiscal year, and the reporting is required in form GSTR 9C. Now, second type of GST audit is general audit. Section 65 and Rule 101 covers general audit. by specific order of commissioner or any officer authorized by him, or by 15 days prior notice, that time this audit is required. Commissioner of CGST or SGST or any officer authorized by him can conduct this audit. The time limit to complete the audit, it shall be completed within 3 months. Further extension of 6 months may be given. And last, findings of audit shall be reported in Form GST ADT 02. Now, third type of GST audit is special audit. Section 66 covers special audit. In that, it is required when Assistant Commissioner, in case of scrutiny, enquiry, investigation or any other proceedings, may direct for special audit with prior approval of Commissioner. Next is Chartered Accountant or Cost Accountant nominated by Commissioner can conduct this audit. The time limit to complete this audit is it shall be completed within 90 days. Further extension of 90 days may be given. And last other point is a registered person shall be given an opportunity of being heard before any proceedings under this Act. Findings of audit shall be reported in Form GST ADT 04.